Hey, this is Ish, and in today's talk, I want to go over some practical ways to increase your masculine energy. So, what I'm referring to here is an energy that all humans have. So, humans have both masculine and feminine energy, and typically people have different ratios of both masculine and feminine. So it can be quite helpful to increase your masculine energy if you are lacking in this quality. So typically what I find is that people who have a lot of feminine energy and not enough masculine energy will typically find that they have no control over their lives. So they are reacting to life. They're so in the flow of life that they're unable to have the personal power that masculine energy provides to bring you out of unwanted situations. Masculine energy is also the energy of direction and vision. So this will allow you to set a course for your life and follow through with it. And if you generally find that you have trouble getting things started and completing tasks or being taken seriously or respected in certain fields, then having more masculine energy will help you achieve these outcomes. And in terms of dating and relationships, being more masculine will help you attract a more feminine partner if that's what you're looking for. So a lot of people that present themselves as more feminine and are looking for a feminine partner are oftentimes very frustrated because those partners aren't into them and they seek more masculine partners. So increasing your masculine energy can help you in that aspect. And nowadays, the advice on increasing masculine energy seems a bit vague. So it just says go lift weights and go take cold showers and you become more masculine. And really, that's not very practical or helpful. And today, I'll be providing some practical solutions on how to increase this energy. So let's start off by understanding some of the masculine energy traits a bit more. So some ways people have described masculine energy historically would be masculine energy is associated with strength, stability, groundedness, structure, direction, vision, and also activity and giving. So masculine energy is a forward-moving energy that is active and giving. So it seeks to give rather than receive. Masculine energy is also associated with freedom. So freedom from breaking out of constraints, and this is often why a lot of men typically like watching action movies where the hero goes through struggles and challenges and breaks through at the end. So the releasing of tension and stepping into freedom is also associated with the masculine energy. Masculine energy is also goal driven and guided by a purpose. Masculine energy is transcendental to life. So it steps out of life to see what needs to be done and then goes forward with it. So part of it is also being associated with logical thinking and analysis as well, because it's not enmeshed with life, rather, it steps out to see what needs to be done and then goes forward, as opposed to feminine energy, which is completely immersed with life. So it's which has its pros and cons because you could be also swept away by different things as well. Masculine energy steps outside. So now that we understand just a few traits in regards to masculine energy, what can we do about it? So now that we have an understanding, it's now time to apply some practical solutions. So if you take any of these traits, you can see how you can apply this specific quality in all aspects of your life. So let's start off with strength, and this may be an obvious example. So masculine energy is associated with being strong and being very powerful. So in terms of physical strength, this is pretty obvious. You can lift weights and increase your strength in the gym, or you can take up a martial art, anything where you're exercising that physicality. Now, when it comes to the mental aspects, mental strength, this can be achieved by taking on challenges. So if you're listening to this, you can start to think of different challenging tasks you can take on, which you may lose or win at, but the losses will help you strengthen your character and so that you're more strong. So if you don't encounter any challenges in life, you'll be swept away by different things very easily. So a lot of people nowadays are a bit too powerless. They haven't met with a lot of hardships or challenges, and as a result, they don't have that structure in place to withstand any kind of adversity. So you can proactively seek that out by taking on challenges and things that will strengthen yourself mentally. When it comes to spirituality, you can start to see that you can indeed incorporate strength in your practice. So there are certain meditative disciplines such as Zen, which are more focused on strength and sitting through compared to more flowy and receptive type practices, which are more involved and associated with the feminine. And then you can take the same quality of strength and apply it to, say, your voice and how you speak. Is your voice very weak and timid, or does it have some strength associated with it? So you can take any one of these traits and see how you can apply it to all aspects of your life. So there's different ways of doing things, and you can either do it more in a masculine way, and you'll be perceived as being more masculine and all the good and bad traits associated with it. or you can be speaking in a feminine way, and there's some pros and cons to that as well. So you can apply any of these traits for all aspects of your life. Now let's move on to another trait. So this is structure. Now, when it comes to the physical body, you can structure your physical body by being very deliberate in your movements. So this means rather than speaking and moving your body in an unstructured manner where you're all over the place and flowing, which is more in the feminine aspect, you can conduct yourself more deliberately. So knowing what you're going to say before you say it, and then moving with the purpose. So this is how you structure your body. So when you move your arm, you're going to be moving it in a slow and controlled manner rather than playing it around and moving all over the place. So that's one aspect of how you can be more structured physically. Now, when it comes to the mental aspects, you can structure your thoughts even. So your mind can be all over the place, but you can apply some structure to your mind. So some ways to deal with this is, say you're ruminating about a lot of thoughts and you're just constantly like sucked into a certain issue that you're thinking about. But one way to apply structure is to say to yourself, okay, I'm going to think about this for 5 minutes and then I'm going to do something else and completely forget about that thought and move on to something else. So you applied a container or structure to your mind. When it comes to lifestyle, you can see how you can apply structure to your lifestyle. So this means you can structure your life by knowing what you're going to do in a day and planning your day out. So you can say from 6 to 7, I'm going to go meditate, and then from 7 to 8, I'm going to go eat breakfast, and then at 12 p.m., I'm going to go for a run. So you can structure your day accordingly and structure your lifestyle by placing this container for your life. When it comes to social interactions, if you are unstructured, you'll typically go in a social situation and just say, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. What do you want to do? And that's one way of approaching that that's unstructured or associated with the feminine. But if you're actively looking to work on your masculine energy, you can practice structure. So this means suggesting different ideas. So if you want to go get Chinese food and you're with your friends, they say, hey, what do you want to do? You can say, hey, let's go get Chinese food. There's a place down the street and we can go there at 7 p.m. That's just one example. So you can find different ways to add structure both in your life and then other people's lives. Let's look at another quality. This is groundedness. So being grounded means you're very firm and you aren't moved or reacting to different things. This is associated with the masculine. So in terms of the physical body, what this means is that you focus more on the parts that are closer to the ground or lower in space. So what this means is that rather than living your life and reacting up in your head, so like most people do, where their attention is constantly in their mind and their head, and they're kind of floaty and they give off that presence. What ground presence is that you feel very firm to others, and this is done by feeling your feet press against the ground. You can feel your breath at the abdomen rather than up at the chest area, and this will allow for you to feel more stable and sturdy. And that's how you address it on the physical aspect. In the mental aspect, you can practice more meditation, and this will allow you to ground yourself more down into the body. And the last example I like to use is the principle of activity. So, masculine energy is associated with activity and giving and penetrating rather than receiving, which is more of the feminine energy. So, a lot of people who complain about not having enough energy and they just feel lethargic, this is associated with having a lot of feminine energy or yin energy and not enough masculine energy. So, in order to change this and increase your masculine energy, this is done by activity. So, doing more things, being more active. And this will allow you to tap into this. So, this means doing a bit more work, moving your body around. So, this addresses the physical. In terms of social situations, you can be the person providing experiences for other people. So, you're giving rather than just taking or receiving or going along for the ride. So, you can start to see how all of these traits, like I've mentioned, can be applied for all aspects of your life. And if you practice as one trait, then you will be seen as more masculine or increase your masculine energy. And this will change the way you perceive yourself and then how other people perceive you as well. So when you're going to be practicing these tips and these different traits and qualities, I recommend practicing just one or two for the time being. And then once you've got a handle of this, then move on to other traits. And you'll actually find that when you actually do this, it does seem like it takes a lot of time because one trait can be applied for all aspects of your life, and that'll take you a long time. So just going, just for strength, for example, you can spend a lot of time, working your physical body, you can work on the mental body, work on like how to be strong in social situations, how to be strong in your career. So there's like so many different aspects of your life that can be applied for just this one trait. So you can start to see that applying all these other traits can, take you a while. And this is one path of mastery. So if you do find yourself lacking this quality, you can practice these traits like I've just mentioned, and practice doing one or two at a time. And this will dramatically increase your masculine energy so you can find more happiness and find fulfillment in these areas where you're lacking. Hope you'll have this helpful. And for the next talk, I'll be going over how to practically increase your feminine energy. Thank you.